I can't tell you how many mortgage people I have seen that bought the chicken and biscuits for the real estate agents to get in front of them, to get up there, and here's what they say. Thank you guys for having me today. I really appreciate it. I'm at XYZ Mortgage Company. We got great rates. We got great people. We do everything really good. And hey, if you need anything, enjoy the chicken and biscuits and call me. Everybody see that? How many of y'all seen people do that? He said, I've done it. And I'm sitting in the back going, no. You bought the chicken and biscuits to get in front of them to say something. Here's what you say, man. My name's BJ. I got some big core beliefs in my life. Right? He hits that story of origin. I grew up here. I got a big passion for helping people. And the way I'm going to help people decrease the divorce rate is I'm going to show you exactly the 4 moves you got to make to do this, this, and this. That's what we believe at our mortgage company. It's a whole lot more than just a product we're selling. Now, how many of you think that people would move toward BJ with that message? Okay, versus, hey, on a mortgage. So the reason this is real important is if you got 5 minutes or 15 minutes or just a few minutes, that stage is so valuable to being able to connect to people's hearts, and that's why you need a great story of origin. That's why you hear people say story, say it, right? Yep. Story, sale. Facts, tell, story, sale. If you don't have a great story of origin, it's like, what do you believe in? Why do you believe it? What are we doing? How can you help me? So connection to an audience starts with that vulnerability of telling those stories, and that ain't easy. I grew up in the shadows of my dad, who was a great man, but I never could get to his level. I was always chasing something I could get. How many of y'all in the room feel the same way? Right? Oh, I did. Now we got connection. And once we have connection, now you can bring the concept. Okay? Remember the concept. Because of this is what I believe. Let me tell you why I believe that. Because of that belief, I have devoted my whole life to this one thing. Helping people just like you. See where I'm going with this? And as you're talking, if you could embed stories in there of success. Hey, there's people we work with. Here's the success that they've been able to get. Right? Okay, you want to be so good with that piece that people come to you. Wouldn't that be nice? You don't have to go to them. They come to you and go, I want to work with you. The Army, the Navy, the Marines were recruiting, and the Army got up and said, be all you can be. And the Navy got up with their message, and the Marine got up there and said, there's only 2 of you in the room tough enough to be a Marine. Now, which 2 is it going to be? 2 dudes raised their hand. They said, all right, meet me out back. See that recruiting pitch? See, how many times have you heard me say I'm looking for Navy SEALs, not baby SEALs? Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about this? See, what I'm doing is I'm qualifying people to say, hey, if you're serious, step over here. If you're not serious, step over there. Don't matter to me. Right? I want to know, boom. But the better you can direct hit with people, then the faster. When BJ says, hey, I'm doing this workshop tomorrow, who would like to be interested in this, right? Okay, I did an event. I was on tour with Sharon Lecter that wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Tim Story. And we were going from city to city doing this comeback tour right in the middle of the pandemic. I mean, right in the middle of the pandemic. Nobody was doing anything. We'd go to hotels and there'd be nobody there. And Tim Story did what was called an altar call close. He's a pastor. And you talk about intense. He literally, at the end of his presentation, had the forms in his hand. It's a $5,000 commitment to come spend the weekend with me and Tim Story and Sharon Lecter. And he gave his presentation, and he said, I got 15 forms right here. Coach Burt and Sharon Lecter and I are going to take 15 people who are serious about spending 2 days with us. And he just walked around the room and said, who would like to have one? You talking about gutsy. Right? What if nobody said anything? I'm sitting over there like, oh my gosh. Like, please, somebody do it. Right? First city was here. We did it here. 15 people. Boom. Then we go to Dallas, Texas. 15 people. Boom. Then we go to Phoenix. And everybody just looked at him. And I'm like, what do we do now? Right? The altar call closed. Ain't nobody coming to the altar. right? And so I jumped in. I'm like, all right, But I so respected him for having the guts to ask that boldly. Here's the concept. Never want you to forget. I can't help you till you commit to something. But once you commit, I'm not going to let you fail. That's conviction. Everybody see that? Okay? So at the end, we're going to kind of finish today by making you think about your core offer. Okay? And the core offer is the one thing. I'm looking for my thing here. There it is. The core offer is if I see you speak, right? And I am interested in what you have to say, what is my next move with you? Where do I go next? Okay? And in my world, it's called a core offer. It is your default that if you had to speak 7 straight days and you can't customize offers, it's like this is what we're pushing people to. We want everybody to go to this one thing. Okay? So what is that for you? Okay? So I speak, and I always have a core offer that people could move to. And this becomes a feeder system for everything else you do. Okay? So my core offer is my coaching program, Monster Producer. It's business growth with some personal growth, structured. We have over 900 people in that program right now. And that becomes the feeder system to everything else. Because once they get in that program, then they start having all of these other options. Boom, boom, boom. Couples, kids, right? Specific boot camps, okay? Deeper coaching programs, coaching your team. See, this becomes a feeder system for all of that. Okay? So when you're driving people in the door, now the more customized the coaching is, the harder it's going to be for you to scale it if it's all dependent on you. So what the very first thing people are going to do is they're going to have all these ideas about working with you. Okay? Hey, here's what people say to me. Do I get to talk to Coach Burt every day? And I'm like, well, we have a move-in plan with Coach Burt, but it's very expensive. But that's what people think, right? Hey, I saw him speak. How often do I get to talk to him? That's what people want to know. Well, if Craig says, man, I'm going to do a bunch of one-to-one coaching, he's going to get to about 10 people or 15, then he's going to want to pull his hair out. Because they're texting him at 10 o'clock on Saturday night and Sunday morning at 4:30 in the morning. And then they're asking him, what's going on? I had a complete breakdown. Can you call me right now? Right? And he's going to be like, what am I doing? Why did I do this? This is miserable. Okay? So the core offer is probably something scalable that you can push people to, that they can move into a pipeline, that they can start participating with you. So if Ryan speaks at a conference and those people like him and they go, how do I go deeper with him, right? And his wife, and it's like, here's what we offer. You don't want to try to sell 10 different things. Not at that event. You want to get them into something, right? So they can participate and experience it and then go, I really like this. How do I go deeper? Embedding is when you are introducing concept as part of your presentation that lets them know you do certain things. That's exactly right. Like I was working with Rodrigo, and here's what we were able to do for him. And then you're like, oh, he coaches people, right? This is how he coaches people. Okay? So Monster Producer is weekly, consistent program through 6 big frameworks to help you build, grow, and scale a business. Okay? We believe, here's my belief statement, a monster producer is a legendary creature that combines multiple skills to dominate a market. We also believe that people start with good intentions and they fall off the wagon, which is why we make a weekly accountability session, right? And we add the online academy for you to train every day that you want to train. We have also added 4 full days a year at the lodge with me, because we do believe some people like that immersion experience with me at the lodge, right? Now, we can give you all of that, plus access to a dynamic community of like-minded achievers that want to do big things, right? And we can give you all of that for $833 per month or $2,500 per quarter. Which one would you like to take? No, I'm really asking. Which one would you like to take? Now, here's the deal. Now, here's my point. Here's my point. Do you see how I packaged it up? What was the key words that I used there? I'm not selling it to you. That's right. I'm giving it to you. When you take action, let me show you everything I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you 4 full days with me at the lodge. That alone's worth a whole lot more than $10,000. I'm going to give you weekly access to me in a group setting. I'm going to give you my online academy where you can train every single day. I'm going to give you access to a like-minded group of people. Brad's been in the program for a long time. They're all dynamic people. John's been in the program a long time. They're all dynamic. There's value in being in the network, yes or no?
Yes.
Well, I'm giving you access to the network. I'm not selling it to you, man. I'm giving it to you in exchange. Everybody see that? That is the core program. Now, here's the beauty of that program. If BJ says, I want you to coach all 110 of my people, or how many originators?
30 originators.
30 salespeople. I could put all 30 in that coaching program. They'd get weekly access to me, online academy, 4 full days at the lodge. I could put together a bundle and say, you know, it's $10,000 per person. That'd be $300,000. But since you're going to do it as a group, I can do it at this rate per month. Everybody see that? It's basically, I break down those concepts, those 6 big concepts. So quarter 1, I cover Pray Drive, explanation of value. Quarter 2, I cover selling system and follow-up. Quarter 3, conversion. Right? Session 4, person of interest. So there is a framework I'm coaching to. It's not just random coaching. There's a structure I'm coaching that is proven to grow a business over and over and over. Now, coincidentally, if an insurance company hired me and said, I want you to coach my agents for 6 months, guess what I would coach them through? That structure. If a company says, hey man, I want you to train my people once a quarter, guess what I'm going to coach them to? That structure. I don't keep creating a new structure. The structure is what I teach. Everybody see that? Now I can teach it in a group setting. I can teach it to individuals. I can teach it, right? See, when I go speak on Friday, I'm only teaching one part of the system, which is Pray Drive. But that ain't the only part. So now I can get into selling from here. See, from here, I can get into group team coaching. See? Jay Kinder, Al Stasic saw me speak, hired me to be their coach. They got Monster Producers part of their deal. They very quickly said, I want you to work with my team. Now, their team is 10,000 people, by the way. Right, John? Okay, now we got access to 10,000 new people. And you don't need more money, you need more. Well, how do you get to these people? Is you do a great job with these 2 guys up here. And they go, hey, I want to open the door for you to help us here. And then you know, next thing you know, I'm saying, hey, man, can you help me with Brent Gove? Can you help vouch for me that this is valuable? Right? And then that's how you keep working networks to the next thing you know, you're in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people. But it all started with the speaking. At the end of the day, Craig, why do I get on a stage? What's the number one reason? Because what? Creates leads. How do I get on the stage? See, how many of you are out there trying to get speaking engagements right now? How do I get the speaking engagement? Why would they choose you? Explanation of value, and you have a killer concept. They're like, hey, she's incredible at that concept. I'm putting her on stage. Our audience needs to hear that concept. Okay? And the more demand is, the more your speaking fees are going to go up. So when a person writes a best-selling book, their demand goes up. Their prices go up. Okay? Because they're in demand. There's only one of them. There's so many engagements. So it's like supply and demand here, right? So it's like, hey, it was last week, but now we got a bestseller. Now it's up here. That's power perception. Before I get started, there is one very important question I have to ask you.
Coach Micheal Burt, Monster Producer Academy CEO. He's a personal friend of mine.
What good is it to have knowledge with no desire? What good is it to have desire with no skill? What good is it to have knowledge and skill with no confidence? A big part of activating your Pray Drive is finding and refining your talent. This is something that helps you get to the next place. People are made up of 4 parts: a body, a mind, a heart, and a spirit. You need to know you. And then you need to have an awareness, and sometimes you don't even know what you need.
So all 4 parts of our nature have to be clicking. Your hard skill solves my problem. The bigger the problem, the more money people will pay to solve it.
Everything is valuable to your future. What I'm really paying you for is your past.
A monster producer combines multiple skills to dominate a market.
When you get to wake up every day and do what you love doing, man, it is hard not to be motivated.
They think at a higher ordinance than everybody else. They want to create new things. I have a conviction about me, and that's the conviction that you feel when I talk, when I speak. It comes across as passion.
You got to learn how to connect to another person at such a deep level that it moves them. You have goals, you have targets, but you don't have a sense of urgency.
They're going to exchange money, energy, they're going to raise capital, they're going to start new businesses, there's going to be joint ventures.
I think your purpose finds you. It is activated. The word activate means to initiate.
Discipline, which is a derivative of the word disciple, which means to give yourself to a person or cause you believe in. Do you believe in your future, yes or no?
When we know better, we do better. Finding the problem that you are uniquely qualified to solve, and you don't know what problem you really solve for whom, then there is no big financial exchange right there. You should leave here thinking bigger today than when you came.
And I want to shake your hand and look you in the eyeball when you make this decision. Thank you. We'll see you in the back. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.